Our generation of Americans have trends that should be so troubling to the soul of our nation. This idea in America that every generation should do better than the one before, well, we might be the first to belie that American truth, as we've seen 25 years of wage stagnation, as we've seen child poverty grow, as we've seen relative to our competitive nations, social mobility decline, the ability for kids in poverty to rise above. This should stir the national consciousness. This should be a call to the conscience of our country. It should make us want to flex our moral muscle again. And I don't know the answers to all of these problems. I may sit under a Capitol dome, but I don't have all the solutions. But there are some things I do know. That when our country was in a ditch before, when we had a disconnect between the values we preached and the realities that we lived, what bridged that gap were Americans who chose to serve their country, that chose to build a railroad underground, that chose to stand up to ensure that their children went from sweatshops to public education. It was people, ordinary folks, that were willing to do extraordinary things to serve their country. We're in far more sophisticated times than those. We're at a different point. But if there's anything that speaks to the truth of our country, it won't be the buildings that we build or the rockets we launch into space. It'll be what we do for the least amongst us, and how well we recognize that we are all in this together, that we cannot rise as a nation when too many are falling from our ranks to poverty and worse. But the truth of the matter is, what we're fighting for here, to be a nation that rallies yet again, it will honor our tradition.